Hi, welcome to another episode of Amputee Outdoors. I'm your host Glenn, and today I'm going to be checking out the Lazzo air sleeping pad that I purchased on Amazon. And I know a lot of you have seen how I've been using my reflectix reflectix pad for a long time, and I rave about it, I go on and on about it. But there are a couple of things about it that perhaps are not in the best interest of myself when I'm out hiking long distances. One, it's bulky, okay? It is, a fairly large piece of kit here. I'm not a ultralighter, I'm not a gram counter, but it does weigh 1.5 pounds. Now, the Lazzo air sleeping pad weighs 0.9 pounds. Let me just bring that up real close so you can see that information right there. See that? There you go. And I've never opened this before, so this is fresh and new. It only, it's only this big. It's small. I mean, I can just toss this anywhere in my backpack and I'm good. But the question is, will it keep me warm when I'm sleeping outdoors and when it's cold and wet? Now tonight, I'm going to try this out here in my backyard, and it's supposed to get down to about 33, 34 Fahrenheit, which is I think about 3 or 4 Celsius for those of you in the rest of the world. So cold enough that you can feel it, but not so cold that I'm going to die of hypothermia. Oh, I mean, let's hope not at least. So anyway, let's get this thing open here and see what we've got. So it comes in a nice convenient bag. I'll just stuff it away in my pocket here. And this is what it looks like right out of the bag. Okay. And it comes with vinyl patch to repair it if I do get a puncture. That's a good thing. I'm glad they've got that. All right, let's get this thing open here and see how we do. Now the big catch, of course, is once I've used this, can I get it back into the same bag it came out of? You know how it is with some products where you get them, it's like it's all packed in there nice and tight, and then you use it and you can never get it back into the same bag it came out of. Hopefully that's not the case with this thing, but we'll see. So it's pretty long, I like that. That's fine. Oh, here we go. That goes in there. That goes in there. Now, inflating, I guess, is just blowing into it. That's the big thing with these, is inflating them. That's something I've got to keep in mind, is like, do I really want to blow into this thing at the end of a hike or something like that and spend my time doing it? It's filling out pretty good. Fills up pretty quick. Kind of awkward to get to it in those last few puffs though because of the shape. Oh, okay. So something I'll show you here. This is the part you blow into. That's the release. And that release just popped out on me. When you seat that, you got to seat it in really tight. There's a little there's a little lip, little ridge right there. You see that? You got to seat it past that little ridge right there at the top. so that it snaps in tight and won't accidentally come out when you're blowing it up. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, with all these products, I rate them based upon their ease of use, their comfort, their functionality, things like that. So right now, what I'm thinking is that for ease of use, there's a learning curve a little bit here. And the ease of use is not as simple as like my reflectix pad where I just unroll it and slap it down. I'm good to go. This, I've got some inflating to do. There's a little bit of work going here. So ease of use is not where I'm happy with right now. Okay, I've inflated the best I can, and I can squish this down flat with my hands. When I'm laying on this, that's going to be completely flat. That's not going to give me any insulation. So maybe I don't have this inflated sufficiently. I'll try and inflate it a little bit more. All right, I've inflated as best I can. And this is what it looks like, all inflated. I'm going to put this in my hammock now, and then I'll bring the camera in close so you can see how it looks. All right. All right, so one thing is it's narrow on the shoulders here, and you can see that with my shoulders, right? It's going to have the effect of having my shoulders exposed to the cold, and that's something I've noticed before with other pads. Also, this thing slides around a lot. My sleeping bag is going to be sliding around on this material very, very easily, and the material itself of the pad slides around in the hammock very, very easily. However, when I'm laying on it, you know how I squished it with my hand and I could squish it all the way down? That kind of worried me a little bit. Now that I'm laying on it and I feel underneath, I actually have air padding underneath me. So my dispersal of weight across the air cells isn't completely flattening them. There's still some air gap there. Now I weigh 185 pounds, 5'9", so if you're bigger, heavier, might be an issue. If you're smaller, lighter, probably is not an issue at all, right? So let me put my sleeping bag in here and see how that looks, and then tonight I'm going to spend the night and I'll give you a report. Well, I've had this set up here with the pad underneath my sleeping bag, and one thing that's come very apparent is that the sleeping bag, the pad is very narrow, and the material is very slick, so every time I move around, I kind of slide off the pad. Yeah, it's getting cold. I can see my breath now, so we're getting down close to low 30s, I think, mid 30s. And this is really starting to be a problem because my shoulders are cold. I kind of slide off it, and then my back gets cold. I think what I'm going to do is take the pad and slide it inside the sleeping bag and see if that helps the situation. If that doesn't work, I'm going to go back to my usual reflectix, which I brought along as well, and I've got next to my hammock here as my backup. All right, so I'm going to try and put in the pad inside the sleeping bag, and I'll let you. All right, so I put the pad inside the sleeping bag. It's working quite well, and I'm not getting that rolling, sliding off kind of effect. However, it is quite narrow, and my shoulders are getting pretty
chilly here. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the night. If I have to wake up and put in my reflectix pad. But I think this will work with the pad inside the sleeping bag. It's actually quite comfortable. It feels really kind of nice. I've got a mummy bag, and so at the end, the pad kind of curls around and forms a little tunnel where my foot goes through. I'm not getting the reflection of heat though, like the reflectix does, and I am really feeling that a little bit on the edges of the sleeping bag. All right, see you in the morning. It's morning, and it started raining pretty good last night. So I'm coming down a little bit now, and putting the pad inside the sleeping bag worked out really well. There are a couple of issues I'm going to bring up later, but I'm pretty impressed with this pad going inside the sleeping bag. I'm going to get myself some breakfast, and then I'll give you a full report.
Got a little more daylight now, and so I want to show you how I set it up. So basically I took the mattress, tucked it inside my sleeping bag like this, cinched that up nice and snug so it held in at that end nice and tight around my head, and then there's the bag that comes in, and then the pad just rests inside the sleeping bag down to that end, giving me enough coverage all the way through. All right, so that's how I set it up. I'm going to put this back on the tripod. So here's the pad, and where's the, there it is. And here's the release hole here. Okay. Now, as I pointed out in the previous, in the earlier part, there's two parts to this. There's the part you blow into, and then there's the second release part that has to get cinched past or clicked past that little ring right there so that you can get it in properly, and so it doesn't pop out on you. All right, so I let that out, and it's already deflated quite quickly, just like that. So let's just start rolling this up and see if I can get all that air out and fit this back into the bag it came out of. Because if it can't, I'll just make a new bag for myself. But it'd be nice if it went back into the bag it came out. And let's see here. Yeah, this is deflating very, very easily. All right, where's the bag? Ah, there it is. All right. The bag, and it's still got the vinyl repair kit in it. Let's see if we can stuff this whole thing in there. Oh, look at that. Yep. Fits right back in. Not as pretty as it was when it came out, but still, it works. It fits back in. All right, so what's my review on this? Ease of setup. Wasn't that easy for me. The puffing it in, getting it all done, took a while. Not very easy. 3 out of 5 on that one. We got it done, did a good job, but not as easy as I would like. The actual use the way it's intended underneath the sleeping bag, complete fail, really, in my opinion. However, putting it inside the sleeping bag, total win, worked just great. However, when it got cold last night, I mean, close into dawn, when the temperature drops down low, it was about maybe 3 Celsius, about 35 Fahrenheit, somewhere around there. My shoulders were cold. I mean, really cold. It woke me up. It was so cold. And I, had to kind of curl over and snuggle up a little bit more to try and stay warm. So during the winter, when it gets really cold, I don't think this is a good bag. I mean, a good pad, right, to put in your sleeping bag. It's not going to give you that complete coverage around that you need to stay totally warm. It did, however, completely eliminate the frozen butt syndrome of hammocking, where you've got that convection underneath pulling the heat out of you. This took care of that perfectly well, and it was very comfortable. Getting it back into the bag, very, very easy, and it fits, okay? So I'm going to recommend this not for winter hammocking. Do not use this for winter hammocking. I don't think it's going to do the job that you want. But for spring, summer, and fall, this is a really, really good option. I like this. In fact, for my summer camping and spring and fall camping, I'm probably going to use this because, I mean, 0.9 pounds, and look at this. I mean, and it can squish even smaller. It takes up very, very little room. And then I've got a pad inside my sleeping bag that's going to work really well for me during those warmer months. Okay, so I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. So that's 4 out of 5 for the single sleeping pad from Lazzo Outfitters. Okay, now if this video has been useful to you, or if you've used these and you've got some experience with these kinds of sleeping pads and you've got some opinions or some questions or some comments, give them to me. Go down there into the comment section, give me your comments, give me your thoughts. And if this video has been useful to you, give me a thumbs up. And of course, there's a subscribe button, which will be in one of the corners here. Click on that. And as always, my friends, I hope to see you out on the trail. And even if it's raining and miserable and gray, enjoying nature. Because it sure beats sitting around in an office. See you out there.